tardes, porque ahí son tardes, wherever you are. Hello, wherever you are, whatever time zone you're in. Thank you for joining me in this class. I'm going to apologize just in case my 3-year-old, well, 4-year-old now, barges in, because my mother is fighting with him in the hall. So just so everyone knows. Today we're going to talk about business meetings and about how you can make, I'm going to provide you some tools on making your voice heard in business meetings. I'm happy to see some familiar faces. Chuck, Dale, Francis, we haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet. So glad you've made it. John, I think I remember your name too. Anyway, excited to be with you guys today. So let's get this show on the road. Let me see. Okay. So today we're going to talk, the level of this training is like professional. We're going to be practicing our speaking, our listening, and our meeting vocabulary. And we're going to focus on agreeing, disagreeing, and interrupting politely. Okay? If anyone has any questions and I just keep going, unmute your mic or raise your hand. I have you guys somewhere where I hope I can see you. And otherwise, Renee, flag anyone for me, please, if I miss them. Okay? All right. So our class agreements, as always, to make sure that this is a nice, good, friendly learning environment, we're going to be patient and kind with each other. We're all here to learn. If we make mistakes, it's completely normal. I'm going to ask you to jump in and try. And if you don't jump in and try, I will pull you out and make you try. Anyway, I'm going to ask you to listen to learn and to give others room to speak as well. I'm going to ask you to stay curious and ask questions and enjoy the process as much as you can. And I'm going to ask you to please put your phones away unless you're on your phone for the class, and for us to focus on learning and on each other. Hello, Tomé. Okay, so there we go. Next. Sorry, I lose my mouse sometimes. All right, so here's our warm-up. Think about the last meeting you were in. Was the meeting boring, productive, too long? Was it fun? Was it interesting? I'd like for you to type one word in the chat that tells me what your meeting was like. Your last meeting. One word. Think about your last work meeting, or even it could be a meeting with friends too, because we're learning skills that we can use with any kind of person or in any context, I mean. So tell me, was your last meeting fun? Was it productive? Did you get a lot done? Was it boring? Was it too long? Tell me what comes up. Please type it in the chat or unmute yourself and let me know. Shook. Okay. Shook, go. Go for it.
Hi. I think it was insightful.
Oh, good word. Okay, insightful. So I'm going to type that word up. Insightful. And when we talk about insightful, what we mean, right, Shok, is that it let us see or understand things that we didn't know. Correct?
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shok. Anybody else want to volunteer? Going once? Going twice? Okay. Well, I will tell you about my last meeting. The last meeting I had was very productive. Which means that when I say that it was productive, it means that I produced a lot. It means I got a lot done with the person I was working with. Okay, moving on. All right, when we think about this topic of agreeing and disagreeing and interrupting, we want to keep in mind that we're in a professional context, which means we're in a work context. So for agreeing, here are some examples of professional phrases. I completely agree with that. That's a good point. When you tell someone that's a good point, means that whatever they just said, it's correct. You think it's the perspective or whatever is correct. I see what you mean. I see what you mean expresses understanding. Okay. So I completely agree with that. Is the same as I am on the same page. Means that you are both thinking about things the same way. If you say that's a good point, we're saying, I think that what you are saying is true. Okay? I'm typing these things in the chat. If you say, I see what you mean, we're saying that you understand what they're saying. Any questions? Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to interrupt me. All right. When we talk about, yes, shock, tell me.
Yes, is it like you have to get a phrase or one word to describe the meeting atmosphere?
For this right now, we're just going over some examples of ways to agree, disagree, or interrupt.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And then we're going to be using these later on.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Chuck. Okay. When we talk about disagreeing, Hai Sun Tum, when we talk about disagreeing, if I say, I am not sure I agree, it means it's saying I have doubts about what you are saying. To have doubts is to mean that you are unsure. Not sure about what you are saying. Okay, so I hope you guys are also following along in the chat, because I'm putting these in the chat as well, so you can read along and potentially capture these later on. Then I see it differently. So before we said, I see what you mean, and that meant I understand, or I agree with your point of view, right? If I say, I see it differently, what do I mean? What do you think I mean? I see it differently. I have a different point of view, right? If I see it differently, I have a different point of view. If I say, I don't think that's the best idea, that is very straightforward, by the way. What I'm saying is, I don't think that it is a good idea. I don't agree with the way you are thinking about something. Okay? All right, so now if we go into interrupting, so when we interrupt, what do? We cut someone off. They're saying, and we're like, no, wait, I have an idea. Or that actually, my son says that a lot. He says, no, wait, I have an idea. Okay.
How to interrupt class?
Say that again, Tome. I didn't hear you.
Yes. How to interrupt?
Exactly.
How clear effective?
Exactly. So if I say, Could I add something here? We're thinking when we add something, we're saying I have something. It's like saying I have something more to say. Or
Sorry, interrupt.
exactly, I have
Yes,
something else to
could
say.
we just jump here?
Say that again, Tome.
Sorry,
You
to
said something.
interrupt.
Yes,
But
exactly.
I could just jump here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. So
I
you just
collaborative way to enter the conversation.
that is, for instance, perfect. Very good. So you can say like you gave an example. Sorry, may I jump in? That's another way of saying it. Sorry, may I jump in? You could say may. I'm putting these in the chat, okay? I add something. And then if I may interrupt, so you're making it clear that you're interrupting, right? And generally when we interrupt, there's a little body language that goes with that, right? So we'll go like, excuse me, may I interrupt? We'll use our hands. May I interrupt? Or can I have a moment to say something? You call like a timeout. Can we call a timeout a minute? Okay. All right, great. So now we're going to do some listening. All right. So you're going to listen to some short dialogues that also include the text at the bottom. And you're going to let me know if the people talking are agreeing, disagreeing, or interrupting. So we're going to listen to all three of them first. Okay. There are three. We're going to listen to the three of them. And then at the end, you're going to tell me which you think is which. Okay. All right, cool.
I think we can finish this project in 2 weeks.
I'm not sure about that. 2 weeks seems too short.
Do you want to do it again? Should we do it again? One more time.
I think we can finish this project in 2 weeks.
I'm not sure about that. 2 weeks seems too short.
All right, there we have one. Yes, Dale.
This means that the other party, it doesn't agree or has another opinion on the matter.
Exactly. Very good. So this person is disagreeing. They are disagreeing. Great. Thank you. All right, so let's do another one.
I think we
Oh,
can
wait,
finish
sorry.
this project in 2 weeks.
I got excited. Sorry, you guys. Let's start. Let's move the next. Sorry. All right, here we go. Another one.
We need to ensure all team members are aligned with the new project goals.
Excuse me, could I clarify one point about the timeline?
All right, we're going to do it again. Notice the body language. Remember I talked about body language and using our hands? Okay.
We need to ensure all team members are aligned with the new project goals.
Excuse me, could I clarify one point about the timeline?
All right, one last time. Dale. Go on, Dale. Come on, talk to me. Okay. One last time then.
We need to ensure all team members are aligned with the new project goals.
Excuse me, could I clarify one point about the timeline?
Okay. Any thoughts? Is this person agreeing, disagreeing, or interrupting?
This person is interrupting.
Yes. Well, what besides what he said, what's something that gave it away that he was interrupting? Suntum. Yes. What's something that gave it away that he was interrupting? Suntum. Yes. Suntung, unmute.
Hello.
Hello.
I just entered now, but I don't understand. This This class happened today. It's slide.
Say it again.
I don't have a full. The slide. No slide.
There are slides today, but right now we're just doing a list. This is part of a slide. But we're doing a listening scenario with an embedded video. Are you not seeing the
Let's
slides?
continue. Let's continue. I just entered now.
Okay.
I said now. I just come from travel.
Well, thank you for coming. All right. Thank you. So Dale, you mentioned it's a listening, you saw that it was like that he was interrupting besides what he was saying, right? Because he said, excuse me. So excuse me is a neutral way of interrupting, right?
So
That's right.
But what was it that gave it away? Like, if you hadn't, like, what else told you that he was interrupting?
Well, he had yes, his symbol, his body language. Excuse me. He was probably used body language to say excuse me, to break
Exactly.
in. Yeah.
Exactly. So one thing to keep in mind when we're in meetings is that our body language is also very important. And our body language also helps people be more or less receptive, meaning people take our feedback and take whether we agree or we disagree in a more positive or negative way. All right, let's go with the last scenario, and then I'll give you guys an example of what I mean.
We need to ensure
Oh,
all
wait,
team
sorry,
members
I
are
did it
aligned.
again. All right, next.
I think the presentation was very clear.
Yes, it explained everything well. Yeah.
Okay, again.
I think the presentation was very clear.
Yes, it explained everything well. Yeah.
All right, what do you guys think that one is?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Go on, Dale.
Yes, both parties agree with each other and are in alignment with each other's opinion, feelings.
Exactly. And one of the things that lets us know is that they're nodding their head, right? They're like,
yes, like a body language nodding and agreeing with each other.
Exactly. And so if we go back to this scenario, right? To the listening scenario, because sometimes we may not, when we're learning a language and we're speaking with someone that is a native speaker, we may not actually get the whole of what they're saying, but their body language tells a story too. So it's important to pay attention to that, right? So here we have this girl, and she's
I think we can finish this project in 2 weeks.
I'm not sure about that. 2 weeks seems too short.
So if we notice in the disagreeing scenario, right, while he's talking to her, his hands are still open. He retains an open posture. It would be very different if all of a sudden he said, I'm not sure about that. 2 weeks is too short. Like if if his body language were more negative. So that's something to think about when we're communicating with people.
We need to ensure
that our body language kind of lines up with what we're wanting to say and helps us maintain the openness of the dialogue. Does that make sense?
Can you just stop you for a second?
Can I what?
Full when critical point is being missed.
Say that again, Tome. I think I missed something because you kind of cut out. Okay,
Again?
Tome? Yeah, say it again.
Can I just stop you for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Self-aware critical point is being missed.
that if you're not self-aware that you can we can miss that critical point, yes, you are correct. We have to be very self-aware when we're in a context of a meeting or negotiation, right? Because everything feeds into that final result. That's a very, very good point. So one thing to keep in mind when, and I'm going to put this in the chat, agreeing, disagreeing, hold on, I'm putting it in the chat, and interrupting, self-awareness is very important. It sets the tone for how our participation in the meeting or discussion will be interpreted. And for how effective we will be. All right, wonderful. Thank you for that. That's a very, very important comment that you made, Dome. That self-awareness is extremely important. All right, so now we're going to do a little practice. I am going to say a sentence. From the sentences, there's a column and it's the teacher column, and I will say a sentence. And then you all, whoever wants to, will choose a sentence to agree, disagree, or interrupt. And the sentence that you will use will be a sentence in the table, okay? So here's the table. And these are my topics right here. And then you all need to choose whether you're going to agree, disagree, or interrupt. And we will do, let's see how far we go. I'll go with the first sentence, all right? I am the remote work manager. And I'm the manager and the topic is remote work, okay? And I say, I think we should switch to remote work. I think what I'm saying is I think that we need to change to remote work, that instead of going to the office, everyone that can should work from home. Shook. Do you agree, disagree, or do you want to interrupt me?
I agree.
Okay, so read the agree statement.
Okay. I agree with you on the statement because I see what you mean.
Perfect.
I have many reasons to think that way, to stay in a remote working environment.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Francis, you raised your hand.
Yes, I agree. And the reason why I want to agree is that, yes, remote work is sometimes easier on the worker, and also it encourages more workers to be in the workplace at any given time if they are needed, and that the type of materials that they work with are available for remote purposes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for Francis Malcolm. Sorry about that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dale, do you agree or do you disagree? Or do you want to interrupt the conversation?
Well, I may interrupt in the sense that I've been given another motion, another suggestion for another possibility, if there's another possibility. If there are only two options, I would say working at home is easier. If there are all the tools and all the necessary information is at hand, and then it would be more productive. Depends on the situation. Maybe it could be a temporary solution, maybe permanent solution, depends.
Okay, I like the way you did that, because if you guys noticed, the way Dale interrupted, was like, I want to suggest, or he's like, he wanted to throw out a different idea, a different, and to kind of back up these alternatives and note that it's not a one size fit all solution, right? I think that's not a one size fits all solution. I'm not typing this because that's a very useful phrase. Okay, wonderful. Thank you guys. All right, next one. I think our meetings should be shorter. Any thoughts? Anyone agree, disagree? Want to interrupt with a different subject?
I can easily agree.
Yes.
I can easily agree because it could be cost effective for the organization if it is an organization, and then it could be cost effective, could be saving money,
Mhm.
saving quality time, and could be more productive in a way. Because
Absolutely.
you're coming to a point, you're making more points, and that is all that you're doing, not elaborating over all details. Maybe that's a good point.
I agree with you. If meetings are more stuck to an agenda and we move through the points on the agenda quickly, it's more efficient and people can get back to doing the work. Wonderful. Thank you, Dale. Francis?
Yes, I will disagree with this one.
Okay.
And my reason for disagreeing is simple, that although meetings can be shorter, I agree that it can be shorter, but for a meeting to clarify its objectives, it has to go for the unit time that is available to do that, the average unit time that is available to do that.
Okay. You don't, in other words, for you, you disagree because you think that by cutting the meeting short, we may not meet the objectives of the meeting, correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you, both of you, both of you. I agree with both of you. Anyone else? Anyone else want to add anything? Shook?
Yes, I want to add if sometimes it can take 10 minutes for questions and answer, and it depends also on the topic. Like if there is a topic that needs more questions or somebody raised their hand, so they can extend the time.
Okay, so what you're saying is you're saying that it needs to be based, the length of the
Yes.
meeting needs to be based on what needs to be addressed on the topic, not
Yes.
on just time. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank-
much. Okay, so the next topic. I think we should use English in our meetings. What are your thoughts on this matter? Tome,
No.
Dale, talk to me because you started. Let's go.
Yes. Yes, that is
See.
interesting.
Yeah.
Ideas, but I think with meet overlooking the logistic.
Okay. Okay.
That is interesting ideas, but
Okay.
I think we need to overlooking the logistic.
Okay, that makes sense. So,
Example,
okay.
I acknowledge develop ideas before starting your disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what Tome thinks is like, it's a good idea, but we kind of have to, this is one of my favorite phrases, so I'm going to put this, take into account the logistics or play it by ear. If everyone in the group, or if in the group only 2 people speak English and everyone speaks French, it's better for the meeting to be in French, for example. Okay, Dale, you were gonna say something.
I was going to say something in that sense, in that direction, that it is maybe it's not always a democratic choice, who's the majority choice, but it is also yes, the point of view of the presenter itself and the or the chairman or the presenter. What is easier and what language lessons can be conveyed easier and more acceptable and understandable for the students.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. So basically what Dale's saying is he's agreeing with Tome because it's a matter of what language the learners learn best in. And at the same time, that if it's in a certain setting, but in another setting, it may be, for instance, that the meeting is in a special language or separate language or an unusual language to accommodate the speaker. Francis. Talk
Yes,
to me.
I was coming to that last point you had it, right?
Mhm.
Saying that, you know, there could have been use of English language general, and then some form of electronics device attached to your computer or your phone in the meeting where you could actually get the dialogue in French and in English, and you could just select for yourself which one you want to use, apart
So
from the speaker
interpretation
being.
equipment.
Yes.
Perfect. That is true. That is very true. And often in large settings, let's say like the United Nations or large multilateral agencies, that's what they do. Everyone
Right.
listens to it in their own language. Wonderful. Thank you so much. You guys were great with this. I'm very happy. Okay, moving on.
It's not just listening in your own language there. Maybe they could just be delivering in English, but at your decks or at your microphone, because you don't want to disturb the meeting. The other appropriate interrupt what they call now machine is there to put the dialogue in your preference.
Perfect.
At a
Yes, using
written
interpretation equipment.
at a written level, but not at a talking level, so
Perfect.
that you don't interrupt. Right.
Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. So we move on to our next slide. You guys were great. So we're going to look at each of these phrases and you guys are going to tell me if the phrase is, if we are agreeing, disagreeing, or interrupting, and if we're being polite or rude. Okay? So yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the first one. And then, well, I'll read them all because otherwise it gets kind of hard for me to choose people. Although I will call you out. Let's try that. I'm going to call you out the way I always call you out, so that you all will then read the sentence and tell me if you think that it is, you are agreeing, disagreeing, interrupting, and or being polite, or if you're being rude. Okay, so I'll go first. Yes, I agree. That is a very neutral statement. It is polite. And it is agreement, because agree is in the sentence. Okay. So next, Dale. Read the next one
Yes.
and tell me whether you think it is disagree, interrupt, or agree, and if it's polite or not, or rude.
In your example of agreeing with the speaker,
Yes. But
That's
you
what you
read the,
mean.
I mean, you're gonna, I want you to read the next bullet, the second bullet.
Second bullet
Under
on the
yes,
chat.
yes. Yeah, no, on the PowerPoint. I want you to read this one. And I
Uh,
want you to tell me if you think that it is polite and whether we are disagreeing, interrupting, or agreeing.
the PowerPoint, where is that?
Right here, you don't see it? It's right there. You don't see the PowerPoint?
Well,
Where
Angela,
it says,
we can't see that your slide anymore.
nobody can see the slide?
No,
Can you see it now? That's weird, because I can see it. Can you see it now?
it's black, total black screen.
Okay, I don't know
I
what
see.
happened.
But it goes when your picture is on. So maybe you need to take yourself off the screen.
Okay, let me see. That's so strange. Give me a minute. Let me,
Click on your screen and see if it comes up. It comes up alone.
let me do this. Can you guys see? Hold on. Can you guys see the PowerPoint at all?
I'm
No,
seeing it again.
Okay, let me share it. Sorry, you guys, this is quirky. Share, and I am going to share the PowerPoint. Can you see this? Can you see it now?
yes.
Yes.
Yes, we
Okay.
have seen it now.
All right, great.
Yes,
Thank you
we
guys.
see.
Yeah, we
Have you
can
guys not been
enlarge.
able to see anything?
I see everything.
Okay, all right. All right, so then the second bullet. Can you read the second bullet for me, Dale? This one?
Yes. Yes. That's true. Good idea.
All right. Do you think that that is a statement of disagreement, interruption, or agreement? And is that polite or rude?
Well, that is indeed an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
With the first speaker, it's agreement with, and it's certainly not impolite
Mm-hmm.
because it is an agreement, and it is yeah, agreeable.
Perfect. Yes, you're
Yeah.
right. It is an agreement and it is polite.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Tommy. Tommy.
Yes,
Can you read the third bullet here, the one that I'm moving across the screen with, this one? Can you read that?
exactly. With a smile.
Yes, but you smile when you say it. Exactly. Smile. And tell me, is that agreeing, disagreeing, or interrupting? If someone says exactly, Tomé, that is exactly what you were supposed to do. Are they agreeing with you? Disagreeing? Any thoughts? Anybody want to help them out? Is he still in
Well,
here? Let's see, Shok, you raised your hand?
Yes, I think it's polite and good.
And it's agreeing, yes. You're
Yes.
right, perfect. Okay, next. If I say, well, no, I'm not going to say it. I want someone else to say it and to do the oomph with it. Okay, you do it, Shok. You do the fourth one.
Okay. I act.
Yes, act. I want we all of us to channel our inner actors.
Of course, you are wrong.
That you did that very forcefully. I'm very that Oscar to the best performance in a agreement, disagreement, or interruption. Which one do you think it is?
I think it's disagreement.
Very good. It's sarcastic, right?
Yes.
Of course you're wrong. So would that be polite or rude?
I think it's not polite, rude.
Exactly, it's rude. Very good. All right, next. Thank you, Shok. Francis. Fifth bullet.
I don't agree with that.
What do you think?
Well, I could say that I'm in the affirmative, allowing the room, the person to know that I am not in agreement with something, right?
Very good. Yes.
It could either be here or there, rude or polite, all right? To me. But I'm saying it would also interrupt what is moving smoothly to say that we need to change path or find a new direction, etc.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look, you're layering it. That's awesome. Yes, it could. It could. Very good.
Right,
Perfect.
right.
Yeah.
So then again, I could have made it in a tone that would make the difference, you know? So if that heavy sarcastic tone was there, then what you could actually sense is a disagreement fully.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
also maybe with a rude awakening.
Perfect. You see, that's insightful. It goes back to like the other things that inform the way we communicate, right? Like our body language or our tone or our facial expressions. All right, wonderful. Next, Shok.
I think also maybe how about the use of words? Like if you can say like I have another opinion, and like if I want to disagree with someone, can I use like others phrasal verbs or other
Yes.
words?
You can totally say, I have another opinion. Or you could say something like, I'd like to explore another path or
Yes.
another idea. There are ways of softening it, right?
Yes, yes.
Or you could even pose it as a question, like, might we consider whatever?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. That was great input. All right, next. I'll do the next one. Actually, I disagree. We need more time. What do you guys think? I'm disagreeing, right? Am I being polite or impolite? If I
I
say,
think, yeah.
go on, Dale.
Well, I think if you put it that way, that you can't always expect agreements or completely agreements. So you have to make room for other points of view, and maybe you have to inculcate the feelings of the other party. And then you say, well, let's make more time to think more about this. We need to think more about this, or we need to spend more time on this topic. And it's certainly not impolite. And
No,
that
it's
really,
not impolite.
no,
But if I say it with an attitude,
it depends, yes.
so if I say, actually, I disagree, we need more time. I have an attitude. I'm kind of being rude. Now, the thing to always remember, and this is not an English thing, an English language thing specifically, but when people are like that, the way that I've been, it's never about us. It's always about them. So we don't, when people treat us, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like if someone has an attitude, they're the issue. We're not the issue.
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
Yes, there should be a distinction in between the, how you call it, straightforwardness and rudeness. You can always
Yes.
be straightforward. You always have to be straightforward no matter what. You can't be
Yeah.
hitting this around the bush. You have to be straightforward with another person, especially in business. You have to be
Mhm.
straightforward and frank. So the
Yes.
frankness of your point of view may may come over as bluntness or rudeness,
Mm-hmm.
but it's your way. It's your technique. So you have to
Mhm.
have to put your technique into it, more technique into it.
You're right. So it all depends on someone's communication style too. As we get to know people, we understand that what may seem rude initially may not be that. They just may be very blunt and frank. So with that, for instance, if someone says, that makes no sense. Someone says, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Are what are they agreeing, disagreeing, or being interrupting?
Well,
That makes no sense.
well, depends.
When
You
someone
don't know.
says they don't understand it, if they say it makes no sense, it means they don't understand it. Yes, Shok.
I think they saying the truth, about
Mhm.
something in that tone.
Yeah.
When I say it like very calm, like that make no sense. Like, for example, to me or
Yeah.
to the situation. Yep.
So then they're not being rude, they're disagreeing, but they're just being honest in a very straightforward way. They're not kind of pillowing it in a bunch of other things. All right, next. Excuse me, may I add something? The hand, remember the hand. Excuse me, may I add something? Are we interrupting? I gave it away. Are we agreeing, disagreeing, interrupting? So
Well,
this is, go on, Dale, because I think you may have caught this one. Go on, tell me.
caught this. I understand this already. Understand the core of the problem here, because it is this is his obvious point here of interruption,
Mm-hmm.
and but it is polite because the person expresses himself as to be excused for interrupting, and depending on the body language, most probably it's the body language. He holds his hand up. Hey, excuse me. May I add something? That's politely. He asks the person. Yeah, may I interrupt? May I add something?
Mm-hmm.
It looks more a friendlier point of view
Yeah.
in
And with
conversation.
absolutely. And with the may I add something kind of means that they're interrupting, but they may want to agree because they're adding something on top of it, right? They're not contradicting it, but they're adding something. They're making a statement that may support or build on top of what the other person already said. So it's an interruption, but it may be an interruption with an agreement because of the add. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, cool.
Certainly, yeah.
All right, next one. Sorry to interrupt, but I have a question. Sorry to interrupt. It's saying it right there, right? It's interrupting. I'd say that like it's likely polite because they're apologizing. Does that make sense?
Certainly, yes.
All right, next. Can I say something quickly? Can I say something quickly?
Right,
Am I interrupting?
right. Yeah.
Yes, good. Yes, Shook.
For this one, maybe after you have to pay a lot of attention. because after the speaker like end his sentence, then you can say this, right? Can I?
Yeah.
Not in the middle of the sentence.
Yeah, if you say it in the middle of a sentence, then you're rude.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, what about the next one? Stop talking, I need to speak.
And that is, yeah.
That's so uncool. Like that's what
Yeah.
you tell your kid when they won't be quiet. You're like, yo, stop. I need to say something. So stop talking. I need to speak. That is rude.
Very rude.
Very rude. Francis agrees. All right, next. Wait, you're wrong. Let me explain.
I would say
think-
kind of a,
Go on, tell me, Francis.
I would say kind of a rude awakening there, but we could look at it as saying that that person may be more knowledgeable in the context and want to bring in a better context clue to satisfying the resolution, and hence could be making the right decision, but it all
Mhm.
depends on the stakes within the meeting.
Exactly, because if you come out and you tell someone straight off, you're wrong, they're automatically going to put up a wall and be defensive, right? And that's what we don't want. We want, when we're in meetings and negotiating, we want people to stay open to talking and to interacting with us and to our ideas. So we're open to their ideas and we reach mutual understanding. You guys did really well with this activity. Okay, so let's move to the next one. If I can get the slide moving. Hold on, give me a minute. Hold on, having problems with my screen. Let me just do this. I'm going to move this. I can't, we give it, okay, there we go. So we're gonna kind of start wrapping up. So complete the sentence. What is the phrase of all the things that we talked about that you're like, I want to use this one in the next meeting? One phrase. Or what's your favorite phrase to disagree? I think that's very useful too. Because then you're giving people, we're sharing each other's tools. So my favorite phrase when I disagree is probably, may I add something? Because then I'm not completely contradicting the other person. Right? I'm not making like an Xing out their thoughts, but rather I'm saying I want to build on it and I'm not sure I agree. So for instance, I might say I'm talking to someone about a budget and about how the money is spent or allocated, right? In different budget items. And they think that, let's say, X needs to be in this budget item. It needs to be under this title in the budget. And then I say, may I add something? I'm not sure if. So I open the door with that, may I add something? And then I plant the doubt. Do you see what I'm saying? So if I say, I'm going to type it in the chat so you guys have it as a tool. May I add something? I am not sure whether or if. I'm not completely telling them they're wrong. I'm just saying I have doubts and I'm opening the door to talk about my doubt and for you to listen to it. Does that make sense? Okay, what about you guys? What's your favorite phrase to disagree? And it can't be, no, you don't know what you're talking about. What's your favorite phrase to disagree in a meeting?
Take a mean dialogue.
Yes, one phrase that you like to use when you disagree in a meeting, Tommy.